All right, let's talk about the Offensive Security Experienced Penetration Tester Certification, or as we all know it, OSEP. If you've already conquered the OSCP and you're standing there thinking, okay, what's the next big step, then you are in exactly the right place. So let's just start with this question right here. Getting your OSCP was huge. It proved you could pick the lock and get in the door. But what happens next? What happens when you're inside a modern hardened network and there's a blue team, actively hunting for you? That is the exact question OSCP is built to answer. Okay, so let's get right into it. First things first, what is OSSP really? And who should be setting their sights on it? Because believe me, this isn't just another certificate to hang on the wall. It's a serious level up. At its heart, OSEP is all about proving you can operate in an environment that is actively fighting back. We're talking about the real deal here, bypassing modern security controls, moving like a ghost through the network, and actually hitting your objectives without setting off all the alarms. I love this comparison because it makes it so clear. Think about it. OSCP gets you past the front gate. OCESP proves you can navigate the entire corporate campus, dodge the security patrols, that's your blue team, your EDR, and pull off the mission without ever getting caught. It's a whole different ballgame. And you gotta understand, OSEP doesn't exist in a vacuum. It's one of the 3 core pillars of the super prestigious OSC Cube certification, right alongside advanced web attacks with OSW and exploit development with OSCD. Getting all 3? That's a massive industry benchmark, and OSEP is a huge piece of that puzzle. So what is it that really makes OSEP so different? Well, it's about a fundamental shift in your approach, moving away from just finding and popping a single vulnerability and moving towards mastering what we call enterprise tradecraft. And this is what we're talking about in practice. You're not just getting root on one box anymore. You are learning to weave through complex defenses, to bypass AV and AMSI, to execute these sophisticated multi-stage attack chains across a massive Active Directory forest. These are the skills that senior pen testers and red teamers are using every single day. It all comes down to a huge shift in your mindset. This quote from FlashGenius just nails it. You have to be constantly thinking like a defender. It's not just, can I get in? It's, can I get in without anyone knowing I was ever here? And what's the absolute quietest path to my target? All right, the moment you've been waiting for, the exam itself. Look, it's a 48-hour gauntlet, no doubt about it. But once you really understand the rules of the game and the structure, it stops being this terrifying monster and becomes a challenge you can actually prepare for and beat. So here's how it plays out. It's pretty straightforward. You connect to the VPN, the clock starts, and you have just under 48 hours to do all your hands-on keyboard work. After that, you get a full 24 hours to write a professional, detailed report. And let me tell you, do not sleep on that report. It is every bit as critical as the hacking. So how do you actually pass this thing? Well, you've got 2 clear ways to win. Path number 1, go for the jugular and achieve the main objective, getting that secret.txt file. Path number 2, you can rack up 100 points by compromising a series of machines and grabbing their proof files. This gives you some real strategic flexibility. Now, this is a big one, tooling. Let's get crystal clear on this, because a mistake here can cost you the exam. Community tools like Metasploit Community, Bloodhound, Covenant, you're good to go. Your own custom scripts and tools? Absolutely. But commercial frameworks like Cobalt Strike or any AI assistants like ChatGPT? Strictly forbidden. It's all on you. And then there's this little number 50. You get 50 machine reverts. Now, that might sound like a lot, right? But trust me, over a 2-day exam when you're deep in a complex attack chain, every single one of those reverts is pure gold. Use them wisely. So knowing all of that, how do you prepare to walk in there and pass on your very first attempt? Let's build your game plan. First up, you have to build your arsenal. Get comfortable, really comfortable, with the foundational tools. But the real secret weapon? It's building your own custom capabilities. Having your own C# motors, your own AMSI bypasses, all ready to go before the clock even starts, that is a massive advantage. Look, there's no magic shortcut here. The single most important thing you can do is live and breathe the Pen 300 course material. Offensive Security themselves tell you that the final lab challenge is very, very similar to the exam. So do it. Understand every step, and then do it again a different way. And this right here is probably the best piece of practical advice you're going to get. Do not let the exam be the first time you've ever tried to run a full operation under the pressure of a ticking clock. Doing a full dress rehearsal builds muscle memory, not just for the technical stuff, but for managing your time and documenting as you go. It's crucial. Okay, let's talk about the elephant in the room, the money. What's this going to cost you? And more importantly, what's the return on that investment for your career? Is it worth it? The most common way people get into this is with the Learn One subscription, which will run you about $2,749. Now, that price gets you the course, the all-important lab time, and 2 shots of the exam. But what does that cash actually get you? Well, the return on investment is all about accelerating your career. It gives you instant, serious credibility for those senior pen tester and red team jobs. It basically screams to employers that you know how to execute real, complex attacks in their networks. And, of course, it's a huge step toward that elite OSC cubed. And maybe the best part is that this isn't just stuff you learn for a test. The skills you master for OSEP, things like client-side attacks, living off the land, all the insane Kerberos abuses, these are the exact techniques you'll be using on high-stakes, real-world engagements. So, we'll end on this. If your goal is to make that leap, to go from just exploiting a single box to truly compromising and owning an entire enterprise, then you really only have one question to ask yourself. Is OSEP your next step?